back to my second office and listen to the sound of nature. As you maybe have read or heard me saying in one of the previous newsletters, I started to give back a little and sharing some of the ways how to live a meaningful life you love. So today I'll show you the philosophy which was and is the base for the work with clients to live a meaningful life. Hope you find it useful. Imagine a line from 0 to 100%. 0 is failure and 100% is success. The question is, how do most people measure their success? I'm afraid most people measure their success in material terms only. That's money, cars, house, holidays, you name it. And that's perfectly okay, don't get me wrong, provided we do not forget that to keep in mind that there is another axis, an axis which goes all the way from fulfillment down to depression. And the question we should ask ourselves is, in which one of the 4 quadrants are we? I think you will agree with me and Frankl that the nicest thing would be to be number 1, upper right quadrant, outside success, inner fulfillment. I think you will also agree if I claim the last thing we want is number 4, neither nor. Number 3, upper left side, inner fulfillment, outside poor. This is what Frankl called the monks in the Himalaya mountains. It's not our culture, we shouldn't imitate it, maybe learn a little bit from it, but not copy it. But the sad thing is that in our culture, most people are in quadrant number 2. Outside, everything looks perfect, but inside, it's the big black hole. And then, to make things even worse, try to compensate a minus on the depression axis with a more on the success axis. More money, more cars, bigger house, and so on. And completely forget that in reality, you would have to try to find a balance between these 2 axes, an individual, personal balance. And then, of course, the question comes up, how to get there? And as Frankl was always saying, we should therefore consider 2 plus 2 steps. The 2 obvious steps are how and what. How is, for instance, how can I learn a language? How can I develop a product? How can I ... and you fill in the blanks. What? These are my goals. And this is where most people stop. So many people come to me and say, Dieter, I've been doing this in my life, been doing that in my life, trying this, trying that, crisscrossing, zigzagging around. And maybe even have been successful in material terms, at least for a short period of time. But then they come and say, something is missing. There is still an inner black hole. Why? And then I'm saying, exactly because of what you just said. Because you probably, most likely, have not found an answer to the question, why are you really here on this planet in non-material terms? And then people say, sounds good, Dieter, sounds logic, help me to define my why. And then I'm always saying, okay, but we don't start with your why. We first have to go a little bit deeper. We first have to go into the subconscious and unconscious to see if there are any blind spots, fears, or maybe even emotional wounds from the childhood, which make it difficult or almost impossible to define your real why, or even more important, to have access to our own inner wisdom. Because I firmly believe that deep down we have all answers we need. We simply never have learned how to access this inner wisdom. Because in school we learned facts and figures like Paris is the capital of France and 2 plus 2 is 4, but we never learned to access our inner wisdom. So the first step is to go to the subconscious to see what is maybe holding us back to access our inner wisdom, to move from knowledge to wisdom, and then to move to the why. Why are you really, really, really here on this planet? And then we will be able to live a meaningful and fulfilling life you love. And next time I'll be showing you how to deal with unconscious emotional wounds from childhood, also called PBS, profound blind spots, and how to overcome them. And by the way, feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel with all these tips. Also, if you're interested in integrating purpose counseling in your work, for instance as a coach, have a look at the coach training program, Living a Meaningful and Fulfilling Life You Love. I'll put a link below. Be yourself.